In this tutorial, I'll take you through how to capture consent in follow-up. I'll show you how to capture consent on an inbound booking and an outbound call or outbound booking. So to start with, I'm going to do an inbound booking. Now, what you need to do is search for the registration you're working with in the top right corner. And at this stage, you would have already made a booking in the DMS. So what we're going to do now is click on inbound call. We need to pick the dealer that we made the booking at, enter the WIP number of the booking that you've made, and then the date it's due in, and click continue. So what that's going to do is bring across the WIP details, customer details, everything you need. Now, to progress any further, if I just click save and complete, it's going to highlight in red the fields that you have to be filled in as a minimum. So we're going to pick on the work type, so say a routine service, for example. Could be an MOT as well. The value of the work that you would normally enter on there. The user, so your name that has actually done the work, done the booking, and then the retail type or the warranty, the sale type there. When we click save and complete, it's going to take us through to what you normally recognize as a follow-up record. Now, this is a standard follow-up record. It's created when you do an inbound booking. When you scroll down, you're going to notice you've got the customer details here, and down the bottom you'll have the customer consent panel as well. So I'll just talk you through everything. You have the customer box. If you want to see all of the customer details, just click on this view full details. That's going to open it up, and you're going to see here all of the contact details that you'll be applying consent to. So you've got the customer's name, the address, telephone, mobile, and email address. So further down in the customer consent box, you have a couple of options. So this statement here changes depending on whether you've got it set to customer not present or customer present. So most of the time you're going to be on the phone taking a booking, so you'd have the customer not present box ticked. It's going to give you the option to select how you're capturing the consent. So again, most of the time it's going to be by phone. And then what will happen is you'll see in this box it's got a statement that will change based on what your particular dealer has set, and you can have this amended if you wish. You want to change it at any point. That's not a problem. We have a basic script, so this is what you need to say to the customer, and in this example we've got an FAQ. Just in case the customer asks you some more questions, you can answer some. These are the most common answers that you might need to answer. Again, all this can be configured based on what you need. Now, what we need to do is talk to the customer about sending them marketing. So this is things like offers, campaigns, etc., etc. You know, things that you can try and sell to the customer at any point. Could be for sales, so it could be trying to sell them a car. It could be for after sales, you know, winter campaigns, all sorts of different things. They're all classed as marketing. So what we want is the customer to agree for us to send those to them. Now, they do have the choice of saying yes or no for each of mail, phone, email and SMS. So what you need to do is ask, you know, can you send the marketing via these 4 channels? Obviously you've got to have the right contact details up above, but customer, you know, if they're happy, then just put yes with everything. If they don't want emails, for example, you can turn that off. Or if they, you know, if they don't want to be phoned, you can turn that off as well. Now, this is only for marketing; it's not for everything. So it doesn't mean you're going to switch off things like service reminders or recall campaigns, you know, red work follow-up, things like that. It's only where you're going to not send them proper marketing communications. If they're happy with everything, you need to make them aware you have a privacy policy. Now, they may want to know, like, you know, what part of it says, so you can access that and scroll down to specific sections. Your privacy policy will look a bit different. Everyone will have their own. Each dealer's is different, but this is where you can access that information. It could also be that the customer wants to see the privacy policy, in which case you can send it to them. Click on send privacy policy email, and they will get an email sent to that one there that's going to allow them to read the privacy policy. Once they're happy, and you know, most customers won't ask to see it, but once they're happy, make sure the box is ticked, and that's going to let you save the consent. So click save. And what you'll see when we scroll down, it's remembered the settings that are against these customer contact details. So we've got yes to all 4, and that's now gone grey because it's remembered the setting. So it could be that the customer wants to change their options, and that's really simple to do. So you can see last time it said yes to all, but they may want to change something to maybe say that to no. You do need to still click on yes for all the other ones to make them green and tick the privacy policy box again. If you don't tick that and click save, it's just going to go red to say that you haven't ticked it. So you've always got to make sure they've agreed or are aware of the privacy policy. Click save. That's going to save it, and what you'll notice is it hasn't remembered the no. Now that's because we only record the opt-ins, we don't record the opt-outs. Technically the customer hasn't opted out of anything, they just haven't opted into marketing, so we don't need to record the no. Now it could be that the customer doesn't want anything at all, so they don't want any service reminders, MOT reminders or Amber Work follow-up. So what you'd need to do in that case is select 4 no's. What that's then going to give you down the bottom is this additional box. You'll notice if I change one of them to yes, you don't get the box. If you change 4 no's, you get the box. So we're not asking them to agree to the privacy policy because they're opting out completely, so they don't need to agree to anything. When you tick the box, what you'll notice is it says they're opting out of all consent methods. You won't send any correspondence relating to advertising, new offers, promotions, or maintenance reminders. That's the important ones. They're not even going to get service or MOT reminders. It could be, though, that they've got ongoing contracts. That could be finance, service plan, or it could be there's an emergency with the vehicle. So it could be there's dangerous red work. It's just been in the workshop, it was identified, or recall. Something like that. So we can still contact the customer even if they've opted out of communication if it's an emergency or contract related. So tick the box. When you click save this time, what's going to happen is it is going to remember those no's and it's going to have the opt out of all communication. So that gives you a clear indication in the future that you're not to call the customer for anything other than an emergency or contract related. Okay, so that's the run through of doing an inbound booking and capturing consent. It's actually exactly the same to do it for an outbound booking. The only thing you don't need to do is search for the vehicle and bring the WIP number through, purely because you'll already be in the record and you'll see the customer consent page down the bottom. You'll see over on the right hand side it always tells you when the consent was last captured. So if you've only just been through this last week, for example, and you're calling the customer again, it's going to tell you there. And you don't need to ask the customer every single time, especially if they've only just been through this process. So just bear that in mind. So first thing you should look at, and you'll notice that some of the icons will be filled in. So that's the first indication that we've recently captured consent. Okay, so that's how to capture consent in the follow-up module. And if there's need any additional support, please contact us via the usual channels. You can go on the website or leave the details at the end of this tutorial. Thank you.